All right. Time to play some more Control. I'm a mimic. And last time we were in the research sector. Hey, congrats on first. We were in the research sector hunting down mold hosts for Dr. Underhill. And we were able to find all of them, luckily, as well as travel into the mirror altered item and take care of our mirror counterpart, S-Edge. So today we're going to go back to doing the main quest instead of doing side quests until we find more interesting side quests, which will distract us. But we're going to go to the containment sector because we're trying to find the prime candidate program. Hopefully to learn something about what's been going on with Dylan. So let's go. You know what I heard today? I heard even after all the stuff that happens, they don't let up lockdown for at least 6 years. Yeah, that seems to be the case from all the trailers for the second game. Um, it's been about 6 years since this game came out, and the second one does seem to be taking place in real time. So I'm just gonna take a quick look around here. I'm pretty sure we're not going to see anything new because we haven't done anything new. One of these times I really should do a bureau alert and see if I can actually win. But I promised we'd go straight to containment, so that's what we're going to do. So I believe we are looking for evidence of the slide projector because that was brought in at the same time Dylan was after the events in Ordinary where Jesse got Polaris. Okay, so we're looking for the prime candidate program somewhere in here. Oh, there's... Oh, it's the same one. I just didn't kill it. Okay. I always try and get those first. Simply because the clusters make everything else a real pain to deal with. But I've definitely been in here already. And it looks like what I need to do is go through security and then off to the right. I might be able to get there through logistics though. It's sad that they still die after seizing them. Well, they're not exactly alive. I'm just taking the place of the hiss. They're still dead bodies being controlled by the hiss as far as we can tell. Okay, so if we look, it does kind of look like we could go this way, doesn't it? Have we been in here? I don't know if we have. Mannequin supplement. Waste mannequin. AI7-KE. Acquisition date December 23rd, 1967. Containment location Panopticon. Floor 4, Unit 11. Background. The item was last owned by Madame Redacted, an operatic performer from Berlin. After her career ended in a public scandal, she relocated to Redacted, Maine, for reasons unknown. With her came the trappings of her old life, including this item. Locals report that she rarely left her home in the short years she spent in Redacted. After her death, caused by Redacted, the state held a public auction of her belongings, seeing as she had no known relatives. Various conflicting first-hand reports exist, but testimonies provided by witnesses of the event do contain some common elements. Most every witness saw numerous mannequins break through the house's windows, tumbling outside. Some witnesses report bright lights. Some report high-pitched singing. These are unverified. Numerous civilians inside the house at the time of the incident were hospitalized for various injuries. 2 were crushed to death. Agents were dispatched upon seeing an article regarding these events during the Bureau's daily scans of national periodicals. The item was quickly identified and brought to the Bureau. The waste mannequin. Do we have anything about a mannequin in here? That's the first we've heard about it. Interesting. That also means I have not been in here before. So let's have a look around. It's a good thing nobody's in these shelters, and they've all already been rescued and taken back to the executive sector. At least I'm assuming that's what happened. Nothing on the whiteboard. I do like this seal. Just the key and the sword and the pyramid. Don't see anything in here. And that goes back to Central. So let's go downstairs. hiss chant is really clear from these guys in particular. It's interesting that everything down here is empty. All of these rooms are empty. And this just goes back to Central. Well, that was lucky. Oh, it's nice being able to just grab the problematic ones and throw them around. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything else downstairs, but I did just notice that there's a red lit door here to the mechanical room, but won't let me through. So, it doesn't look like the prime candidate program is this way. Or at least I can't get to it from this way. So I'm betting it's from security. And since I did open this door from the other side, I'm pretty sure I already got this, but I have to double check. Yeah, I already got this one. Okay. So there's the fire break to the panopticon in front of us, but off to the right is where I need to be going. Oh. Thanks, Polaris. Weird to just have a singular hiss. Aww, look at the puppy. I'm glad there's no, like, animal hiss. That'd be sad. Mirror supplement. ID Victorian Mirror. AI60-UE. Acquisition date July 15th, 2005. Containment location Synchronicity Lab, Research Sector. Background. Redacted. She was admitted to a mental ward for emotional instability soon after relocating to Illinois with her family in 1914. The item only appears on record again in 2006 when the Bureau investigated a sudden rise in disappearances in Redacted, Illinois. Agents found the item hanging in the local library. They contained it quickly, though the missing people of the town were never recovered. Supplementary materials. Date: August 18th, 1915. We certify that the case of Mrs. Redacted has shown her to be a lunatic under the reasons of hysteria, bad company, and imaginary female trouble. Her fixation with the family looking-glass is noteworthy, though not an uncommon matter when considering the female disposition. Mrs. Carver is a fit subject for the lunatic asylum and will remain in its confines until her affliction has passed. Signed, Dr. Redacted. Wow, that is super sexist. 1915. All because of a altered mirror that abducts people. Prime candidate program. So this door is locked, so we have to go around the long way.
To find new prime candidates, the Bureau needs a director. Our future. P6 and P7.
P6 and P7. So Dylan is P6. I wonder who P7 is. But I guess we should go listen to the hotline.
After North Moore stepped down, I doubled every effort to find new prime candidates. There was no one. No one but me. That wasn't good enough. I pushed hard. I never wanted the Bureau to end up in that situation again. The Bureau needs a director. Always. When my time reaches an end, I want more options on the table. P1 through P5 were all false leads, dead ends, and disappointments. Then P6, Dylan Faden. He fell into our arms. No parents, they're gone, casualties of an AWE. The boy has exceptional talent. The oldest house will be his home. We'll build him from the ground up. He'll be trained and taken care of. Darling can be in charge of this project. I can't. I'll stay away. I will not fail the boy like I failed my own family, my daughter and my wife. We weren't careful enough back then. Something came home with me. I took work home. My Susanna got sick. When I realized my mistake, I wanted to bring her here for Darling to do what he could. Kate flat out refused. Civilian doctors treated our daughter, but they didn't have a clue. She died. Kate left me. Same old story. That was a long time ago. The Bureau is all I have now. And the prime candidates are our future. There are two, P6 and P7. We're spoiled for choice.
Wow, a lot of new information about Trench in there. And having, reconnected with Dylan, I feel like they still failed him. I feel like giving Dylan over to Darling wasn't the best of choices. Oh, that doesn't look normal even for the oldest house. There's probably something going on in here. Okay, where is this? There's a his cluster around here somewhere I need to find. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It moved. Ooh, I can take care of that. Something just exploded. Oh, having the cluster on my side is so nice. Hey. It still shot me, even though it's supposed to be working for me. Oh, and his cluster looks so cool in blue. So cool. Okay, so it's still shooting at something. There you are. Oh, so we still have a few down here. So, yeah, I don't think it's supposed to look like that. Ooh, C's accelerator. I do like C's. It's so weird walking on this. Bright Falls supplement? Bright Falls is um, where Alan Wake takes place. Bright Falls, AWE 35. Event date September 1st, 2010 through September 14th, 2010. Event location, Bright Falls, Washington. Alice Wake, Mr. Wake's wife, was found during the Bureau investigation. She was interviewed and evaluated. She showed signs of severe mental trauma in the form of redacted memory loss. She was later directed to treatment. It was concluded that she had been trapped in the threshold during its manifestation. Notable individuals still missing after the Bright Falls event are FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale and Dr. Emil Hartman, referred to The Creator's Dilemma and the file re the Cauldron Lake Lodge. Bureau researchers believe this event was the result of a forceful perception of subjective reality stemming from Mr. Wake, overlapping on our own. Wake has been flagged as a potential para-utilitarian. See Prime Candidate Program for file for more details. In 2011, a book by Clay Stewart titled The Alan Wake Files was published by Roundabout Press, New York, and Olympia. Agents interviewed Clay Stewart and suspected minor para-utilitarian sensitivity. He was placed under indefinite surveillance. Notes: a monitoring station was established at Cauldron Lake to alert the Bureau of any future activity. So the Bureau was actively watching everything going on and reacted to everything going on that happened in the Alan Wake game. It's interesting that Nightingale and Hartman are missing. Okay, and so it just stops here. There's a wall. It doesn't just continue onward. I still think that this room isn't supposed to be twisted like this, though. Is there anything down here? It is like really dark over here. But I'm not seeing anything standing out for me to interact with. And I really enjoyed the Alan Wake games. Alan Wake and Alan Wake American Nightmare. I played them before I started streaming. But I highly recommend them. Let's see what's through here. P7, P6. Closed cases, I'm assuming. Okay, then this leads back into the rest of the containment sector. So I'm going to go ahead and just unlock that. Closed cases. Hey, it's more Threshold kids. But first we're going to do some reading. Bright Falls Summary. AWE-35. Event date September 1st, 2010 through September 14th, 2010. Event location Bright Falls, Washington. Event summary. An unconfirmed threshold manifestation at Cauldron Lake, Washington, resulted in a fictional story written by the author Alan Wake, creating an AWE in which reality was altered to match that of the story though only locally and for a limited time. Event response. Mr. Kirkland, head of investigations, was alerted on September 13th, 2010 by ex-Bureau agent Frank Breaker, see redacted, that an AWE event was taking place in Bright Falls, Washington, referred to events investigated in 1970, 1976, 1978. Breaker had received a call from Barry Wheeler, Alan Wake's literary agent, on behalf of Breaker's daughter, Sarah, who is the current sheriff of Bright Falls. A Bureau field team arrived at the site 2 days later, only to confirm the event was over. Interviews were conducted, referred to the 1970 redacted Thomas Zane, 1976-1978 Odin Anderson, Tor Anderson. Alan Wake was believed to redacted instigator. Eyewitness reports highlight an old light switch, possible object of power, that redacted missing. Wake was not found at the scene. Reports claim he dived into the lake, but no body was recovered in the search. Okay, so they're saying here that Sarah Breaker, who was the sheriff at the time, in the original Alan Wake game, her father was an ex-FBC agent, Frank Breaker. That's interesting. And kind of cool how they're weaving these two things together.
I can see you're upset, Meg. Why don't you tell Uncle Mr. Bones what's wrong?
I did bad on my clairvoyance test.
You can't ace every test, Meg. You see, everyone has different brains. Some brains can talk to each other. We call this ESP.
ESP?
Some brains can lift objects, like a baseball. Talk about a fly ball, eh, Meg?
No interruptions!
So who cares if you fail your clairvoyance test? Maybe your brain can throw baseballs, or talk to dead people, or make friends blind. Once we know what your brains can do, we'll know what job to give you. And if your brains are just right, you'll get to sit in the big chair.
What if I don't want the big chair?
What if I don't want the big chair?
Everyone wants the big chair, Meg!
That's why we're all here. Use those brains to listen for once, or the only chair you'll get in is the one with straps.
Mr. Bones is mean. And like, kinda scary. By the way, notice the kids resemble Dylan and Jesse. Oh yeah, I guess they kinda do, don't they? Oh, we had a posture check and a hydrate, so make sure you sit up straight and grab something to drink. Alright. No interruptions! That would be a great points reward. Is Mr. Bones yelling no interruptions.
I wish things had gone differently in Ordinary for us. But wishing won't change things. Finding the projector will.
Yeah, I need to figure out how point redemption with sound works. Reload, but there's nothing to reload. Reload in a Mr. Bones voice. So it looks like these monitors were looking at Dylan's cell at the moment that everything broke apart.
Ordinary. So much coming together in this one case. A new object of power, something we have not seen before. I mean, coming from me, that's saying something. The boy, Dylan Faden, prime candidate 6, and the sister as well. Once we catch up with her, but the boy, so much potential. We're talking Northmore level readings here, and I don't want to invoke his name. But it's completely different circumstances here. It's remarkable. There was an incident. Yes. lost a valuable member of our team, yes. Excessive force. Dylan has so much. But he's just a kid. I'll take the blame. He needs some slack. I mean, boys will be boys. He's exceptional and under a lot of stress. Robert's got killed. It's an unfortunate accident, that's all. Marshall needs to realize this. We will make this work. We'll make this work.
Dylan killed a researcher. Possibly by accident, but who knows? Dylan Faden transcript. Transcript of conversation. Subject Dylan Faden for review by Dr. Darling. Note: subject was alone during this outburst. DF 1752-16. You again. I thought I told you to leave me alone. DF 1752-22. Why are you showing me this? I can't do anything. Can't you see where I am? Why don't you help me get the fuck out of here? You always show me things I can't do anything about. DF 1752-36. Stop showing me her. I don't care anymore. I don't care about you. You both left me here to rot. DF 1752-46. Fuck off, you bitch. I will dig my own brains if it means getting rid of you. I don't want you here. Get the fucking message. Subject repeated the phrase fuck off numerous times before being sedated at 1753. So that sounds like Polaris was able to communicate with Dylan, but Dylan blamed Polaris and Jesse for him being left to rot in the FBC. He's, Dylan's very angry. That's for sure. P6 victim autopsy. Also, WTF, I would blame Polaris. She didn't tell Jesse soon enough. Well, we also don't know how much actual, like, talking happens with Polaris. It seems like Polaris can show people things, but we never actually hear Polaris speak. And just because of how the oldest house is, I wonder if they weren't able to get in until the hiss attacked. So they weren't actually able to get to Dylan until everything went wrong. Terribly, terribly wrong. This is the P6 victim autopsy, compiled by Redacted by order of Redacted. Case 45-HQ-121. Case summary. Agent killed during Redacted involving Redacted, codename P6. Autopsy findings. Blunt force injuries of the head and neck. 2. Excessive trauma of the abdominal region. A. lacerations and contusions of the upper and lower torso. B. Fracture of the spinal cord between the L1 and L2 vertebrae. 3. Avulsion fracture of the 3rd through 10th ribs, left and right. 3. Blunt force injuries of the extremities. A. Abrasions, lacerations, and contusions of the extremities. B. Dislocation of the left and right elbow. C. Dislocation of left and right knee. Conclusion. After examination, it was determined that the cause of death was internal bleeding that occurred when the redacted was contorted through his redacted. So, it sounds like Roberts was twisted a lot and possibly thrown about. That does not sound pleasant. He was ripped a new one. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Okay, so what's in P7?
Is this what Dylan wanted me to see? It doesn't matter. We need to find that projector.
They were stalking Jesse. The FBC was stalking Jesse. Candidate P7 outfit. Okay, before I interact with that, I'm going to read this. Jesse Faden movement tracking. Subject, Jesse Faden, P7. Eastward movement. Cause for concern? September 24th, 2019. Departs Cheyenne, Washington. September 24th, 2019. Arrives in Sydney. I am way too bad at my abbreviations. September 25th, departs Sydney. September 26th, arrives in Des Moines. Departs the 30th. October 1st, arrives in Chicago. Spends a week there and departs on the 8th. October 8th, arrives in South Bend, Indiana. Spends 3 days there and departs. October 11th, arrives in Cleveland, Ohio. Spends a week there and departs on the 19th. October 20th, arrives in Bloomsburg. Spends another week there and departs on the 29th. October 29th, arrives in New York City, New York. So they were tracking her a lot. I'm really surprised they didn't actually just pick her up.
All the times I felt paranoid, I was right. The Bureau could have given me the answers, but they just stood by and watched me.
Why were they just watching her instead of picking her up? It even shows Jesse being mugged, and they just took pictures of it. There she is as a janitor. She did say she worked as a janitor for a while. She's been shoplifting. Wow.
We used to play there all the time. Me and Dylan, and other kids as well. We loved it. This time, I remember, was different. We found a way in, deeper into it, like it had shifted. We went inside, and that's where we found the slide projector.
A dump is a place for lost things. Things that have been thrown away. Did you ever feel that way when you were growing up, Jesse?
What? No. Yes, but that has nothing to do with...
Was there a slide projector at your home when you were small?
No.
Those were before your time, I suppose. But your family did look at photos together, maybe. In one form or the other?
Maybe.
When was this? Can you remember? At parties? Barbecues? How did it make you feel? Did your parents ever show pictures that embarrassed you? Was alcohol ever involved at these parties? Did your parents drink? Did that make you uncomfortable?
No. That's just stupid. Come on. That has nothing to do with this. Nothing.
The slide projector, let me ask you this. As a child, did you ever fantasize about worlds inside pictures? Inside a painting? You know, stepping into a painting, into a hidden world, escaping and finding adventure there, away from your parents.
I don't think so. I don't remember. Maybe. I don't know.
Those were some very leading questions. Maybe because they already fucked up Dylan and they knew they couldn't hold her. That's possible. That's possible. Maybe that's why the FBC didn't get her. They were probably trying to figure out how to get her to be director. Guess they got what they wanted. That's true. One of the prime candidates did become director, huh? Also, the carpet in here is awful. Not a fan of, that is one busy carpet, isn't it? Geometric carpet. It's like those, cube optical illusions and whatnot. Okay, so let's see what's through this door. Transit corridor south. Find the ordinary AWE area. Oh, that's a much larger section of the oldest house. I don't see anything else to pick up in here. Okay, so that just opened the gate again.
They studied what happened in Ordinary here. That's the place to start looking.
The turntable, huh? Having the hiss on my side really does make a difference. Work chat. Dead dog. I see your creepy teeth delivery and raise you a dead dog. Yeah, like a straight up deceased dog. Had a color on it and everything. It'd been rotting in that mailbox since they packed it up. Go ahead and imagine how it smelled. So don't go whining to me. I wish I got to watch a parade of human teeth. What is going on here? That was gross. Are they talking about the grossest things they've seen? Okay, so this is some kind of control room. Probably for the transit terminal. Or the turntable. There was a wall there. Willow AWE Shipping Manifest. Compiled by David Lindquist, Operations Assistant. Inventory list of recorded materials. A hollow sphere, stone-like material. Vitrified soil, redacted pieces of various sizes and colors. Animal carcass, possibly canine. Rusted metal bucket. Leather wallet. Aged shotgun cartridge. All materials to go to the investigations sector for further analysis. So this is another AWE. There's Ordinary, there's Willow, and there's Bright Falls. I think those are the three that we know about. And an AWE is an altered world event. Feels like there's something big in there. Of course I have to take the elevator down to get to it. I don't know why that was just hanging out in the elevator, but it was.
Dylan and I were both prime candidates. Experiments.
It is red in here. Ordinary AWE and the turntable are both through here. Oh, that wasn't too bad at all. Sorry, I wasn't
We're
expecting
going back home.
that hiss to just
Of
blow
course
up in
we
the middle
are.
of that cutscene.
It started there, and it's never gone away.
Ordinary AWE. It's like a road sign. You know, it's funny, but for some reason this game reminds me of FBC Firebreak. No idea why. Yeah, I have no idea why Control would remind you of FBC Firebreak, the game that takes place in the oldest house after the events of Control. No idea why that would be the case. That is a big door. And this is a very large train. If it's requiring 2 tracks like that. They're probably moving very, very large things through here. Oh. Would you look at that mold? That still hurts me? I was not expecting mold that still hurts me. I didn't think the mold could hurt me since I defeated Mold 1. I almost wonder if this game was made as a prequel to Firebreak. You know? I get the feeling it wasn't. I think it was actually the other way around. Firebreak is a prequel to Control. That's gotta be it. Okay, so I can walk around here. Why did Jessie grab her head when I walked in? And I lost a little bit of health. It's like it forgot that I'm immune to the mold now. But this is some spooky mold. Glowing and flashing like that. Well, let's go to the turntable. Actually, wait. I need to actually access the control point. Put on the new outfit. I can only put on new outfits in Central Executive. Oh, whoops. I thought I had the other one equipped. The grip. Oh, that is an astral spike.
Maybe there's a control panel nearby.
Okay, so I need a control panel, probably through the bridge. Whoa. Is that thing trying to shoot at the astral spike? Okay, so that's the Sterling AWE, which is yet another one. And that's the ordinary dump site. I want to go to the ordinary AWE. That looks like mold. I wonder what happens if mold interacts with, Huh? Come here.
It's gotta be one of the table strings. Maybe there's a control panel nearby.
I was hoping I could pick up the mold and throw it at the astral spike. Okay, so this is the actual turntable. Then what's through that door? Oh, it's just a storeroom. This is a lot of mold. It's kind of worrying. Work chat. Teeth. Guess who just had to inspect an inbound delivery of like 100 teensy tiny little boxes? Me, that's who. And you know what was inside each one? A single human tooth. Fucking gross. They individually boxed up each tooth? I guess that makes sense. But also, why were there teeth? That was what, the Willow AWE? Oh hey, it spins. Bridge alignment required to proceed. Keep tracks clear at all times. So the bridge has to be facing or connected to the correct door in order to open that door.
It won't rotate. Something's blocking it.
Something's blocking it? Is it the mold? Yeah, I bet if I cleared those. There it goes. I already had it halfway figured out. Transit North Corridor. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Can you imagine having to walk through this whole oldest house? All of these giant sectors every day for your job? Hiss nodes in the research sector? No, we're going to the ordinary AWE. No, you're on my team now. You're on my team now. Is there anybody else in here? No, it was just this invisible thing. Oh, it hurt me quite a bit. And it messed up a bunch of the machinery. Oh, hey. A painting with a hole in it. There we go. Where did the invisible thing die? I needed the health globes. Whoops. Oh well. I'm sure we'll be fine. There sure are a lot of janitor's closets in the oldest house. Some weird humming noises. That is... Is that A plane? What kind of plane is this? What kind of plane is this? They did not take very good care of it, whatever it is. It has some writing on it. 559402. Looks old, some kind of warplane or something with all of the bubbles and the nose gun. But also looks like a boat? Maybe an amphibious aircraft? I wonder what kind of plane that is. Okay, so where is the other power generator? Oh, there are a few power generators. Or a few power slots for power generators. So this one doesn't seem to really do anything on its own. I bet if I put this one over there, it'll open these doors. But I wonder if that's what I want to do. Okay, so I do need 3. And there's the third one. Did that just open the elevator? Very interesting area. Pretty sure that's where I came up. Doesn't look like I can go further that way. So into the elevator we go. Mission updated. Search for slide projector object of power. Whoa. Oh, hi. Easy. Then you give me a challenge. I haven't died once this stream. Airplane evaluation order. Altered examination request. Airplane wreckage. Compiled by Dr. Hubert Tan, research specialist, by order of Dr. Casper Darling. Summary. The airplane in question has been brought in from a private airfield located in the town of Redacted, Cincinnati. It is suspected to be connected to the Redacted AWE. See case file Redacted for details. It is being evaluated for altered status. The plane is currently being stored in the transit corridor in the containment sector, brought there through the New York subway tunnel. Special access redacted. For more information on Tunnel Redacted and links to urban legends centered on ghost stations, abandoned tracks, and Redacted, see file 4-12-4521. The plane's black box is currently being evaluated for redacted, and initial readings have been taken by a research team, though no altered status has yet been detected. Refer to file 9-12-8371 for full report. So they bring things in through quote unquote abandoned subway tunnels. So the oldest house is connected to the subway? That would make it really easy to get employees in and out, that's for sure. Let's see. Do we have a better zoom? Here's zoom boost. No, it doesn't look like it. We don't have an absolute one. Reload speed, let's get rid of that. I thought that was how they originally found the oldest house, but I don't trust my memory. Did they find it through the subway? I would have to go back and look. That would be interesting, though. Is that all the duplicates? I think it is. Or close enough, anyway. Do I have an absolute C's accelerator? No. I looked it up, yes. Okay, so they found the oldest house through the subway. Interesting. Let's see, launch. Launch. Well, I've been picking up all sorts of stuff, haven't I? Okay, I came up through the elevator. That's the plane. So we must need to go this way. That's a really bright light. Ordinary AWE. Hello. Weird that my first one missed. Ordinary AWE, Stage 1A, Dump. Witness testimonies. The first slide was a room with dirty wallpaper and dolls on a shelf. There were lots of dolls. Dylan Faden, interview 2002. The house was empty. No one lived there. We played in there a lot. It was our secret playhouse. Jesse Faden, therapy session, 2010. I went to school with Neil. Some kids called him Nosebleed Neil. Note, likely Neil Hosenberg, missing. It was mean. He had asthma. Tom, note, likely Tom Barlow, missing. And his gang. Freddie, likely Frederick Bartwell, missing. Hugo, note, No one by this name was found in public records. Bullied him. We brought Neil to the dump to play. Dylan Faden. Interview 2002. Extrapolated information. Unconfirmed existence of additional slide. Designation house. I bet there's gotta be tons of documents to read and audio files to listen to.
You're listening to America Overnight, celebrating 29 years, shining a light in the shadows. Thanks for staying with us. Here's our first caller.
What I'm about to tell you, if they found out, I don't know what would happen.
If who found out?
The men in the suits. They told me it was an industrial accident, but this is something else. Something nobody talks about. Ordinary.
This certainly doesn't sound very ordinary, caller.
No, not ordinary. Ordinary. It's a town, and it wasn't an industrial accident. I mean, that's what they said, but that's bullshit.
Whoa, please watch the language, caller. It may be 2 a.m., but there's still a family show.
I'm sorry. It's just my brother lived there. They said the town was destroyed, but it wasn't. I went there. The people are gone, but the town's there. It's still there.
So the population of an entire town disappears, yet the town remains. Tell me, was the phrase, "there is no salvation," written anywhere?
I'm not sure.
The same thing happened in Brazil in 23, a village called Cor Verde. More than 600 people just up and left. The government said they were fleeing guerrilla forces, but we know the truth. A mass abduction, as predicted by my regular guest, Dr. Quincy Reagan.
Abduction? You mean aliens? That's bullshit! I know they're lying!
Now, I warned you about the language, caller. I'm afraid we're gonna have to cut you off. And good timing, too. It's time for a short break. Hang in there. America Overnight will be right back.
So they were using the radio show to sow disinformation. Ordinary summary. Ordinary AWE-24 event date August 30th, 2002 through September 14th, 2002. Event location Ordinary, Maine. Interesting how it's the first 2 weeks of September, just like Alan Wake, right? By the way, that's exactly what this game is, to make us think this is all not possible and just a game, just fiction. That's true. Everything in this game is actually a documentary. Let's see, event summary. An AWE occurred in the town of Ordinary, caused by an object of power, slide projector, ID OOP15, discovered by local children at the dump outside of town. When a specific set of slides are used in the projector, the projected images open doorways to other dimensions. Multiple slides were used by the children, resulting in the disappearance of the town's adult population. Event response. On August 30th, 2002, siblings Dylan Faden, 10 years old, see P6 materials, and Jesse Faden, 11 years old, see P7 materials, were playing at the local dump when they found a discarded slide projector, COOP15 case file, and Darling Presentations redacted for details. A team led by Director Trench and Dr. Darling arrived at the site on September 14th. The AWE had ended, but the team found the Faden children, who led them to the slide projector and the slides, which had been burned with the exception of one. Jesse escaped when the agents attempted to detain the pair. In total, 17 surviving individuals were found in the town. All of them were brought in for questioning and tests. See interviews redacted and prime candidate program files redacted. Wow. 17 people out of the whole town.
There is a curious correlation with the yet unknowable forces intruding upon our world, in the form of altered world events. These forces gravitate toward archetypal objects, a gun, a television, a supposedly haunted house. So clearly humanity affects this process. Our collective unconscious is a map of sorts. We hold the key, but we don't know how to use it. We create these archetypes through everyday life, popular culture, urban legends, but we are observing and influencing a complicated system in action. We can change the likelihood of something being a receptacle for these forces just by thinking about it. But we haven't found a method to control the outcome. And yet, there's something unique in us, in our dreams, in the conceptual reality with power, with our minds. What's the cause and what's the effect? Are we the starting point or just a necessary evil in this? A byproduct, a reflection, a projection? We'll struggle to find the answers to these hard questions, or die trying.
He just had to add the or die trying, didn't he? Dead. Yeah, exactly. Ordinary AWE Stage 4A. Town proper. Witness testimonies. Jesse and me followed the dung monkeys to the cave. There was a lot of them. More of the kids from town had joined up. It was really scary. Jesse grabbed the projector and we ran as fast as we could. They chased us. I fell and hurt my knee. Jesse tried to help me, but the dung monkeys were coming. They were just about to get us. But then Neil showed up. Neil looked like a dog, like a melted dog, but I knew it was him. Neil said a lot of times he didn't like being a boy because Tom just beat him up. I think he liked being a dog. Dylan Faden, interview 2002. The projector wouldn't turn off, so we changed the slide to the hand. I heard her immediately. She promised to help. Jesse Faden, therapy session, 2010. Jesse said we should call her Polaris. It's because she's doing stars at school. Dylan Faden, interview 2002. Extrapolated information. Additional slide, designation hand, SID-36, is verified and in Bureau possession. Unconfirmed existence of paranatural entity, designation Dog Neil, EID-19930. So they're saying that Neil turned into a dog? But like a melted dog? Wow. Okay, we already listened to that. The most cuddly of dogs are the melted ones? Is that what you're trying to say? Ordinary AWE Stage 2, Sled Hill Cave. Witness testimonies. After what happened at school to Mrs. Chester, we started spying on Tom and saw where they took the projector. Dylan Faden, interview 2002. Tom and his troglodytes were using the Sled Hill Cave as their headquarters. That's where the projector was. They'd been using the temple slide. We called it that, but really it was a broken concrete thing, like a warehouse or a bomb shelter or something. very dark. The not mother lived there with her babies, children, I don't know. She was feeding Tom and the others her milk. They were changing into little monsters. We called them the dung monkeys. Jesse Faden Therapy Session 2010. Extrapolated information. Unconfirmed existence of additional slide designation temple. Unconfirmed existence of paranatural entity designation not mother. EID 19928. Something really weird was happening in Ordinary. Didn't they mention a dead dog earlier? True, I never made that connection. That is true, they did mention that among... Well, but that was for the Willow AWE, right? Do you think that's connected to the Ordinary AWE? I wonder if it is. That'd be really interesting. Oh, that was easy. It was just those three.
Annual evaluation of Dylan Faden, formerly P6, performed by Dr. Carla Vaughn. The questions asked here correspond to the 5th iteration of the Gunner's psychological assessment. Are you ready, Dylan? Let's begin then. In a single word, describe the world around you.
Where's Casper?
Dr. Darling is out of the building today.
He's never out. He didn't want to come, did he? He never visits, not since Roberts. So tell Darling it wasn't my fault. I couldn't control it yet, but I can now. I learned. Will you tell him?
In a single word, describe the world around you.
A prison. A cold, empty prison. Not even a poster on the wall.
What is the next number in the sequence 3, 6, 9, 12, 15?
18.
What day is it today?
How the hell would I know? It's not like you give me a calendar.
You find a rabbit in the woods. It is breathing, but not moving. You cannot see any blood. What do you do?
Leave it.
Expand on that.
It doesn't matter. The rabbit's not real. None of it's real.
What day is it today?
Do you enjoy asking people questions that can't be answered? Is this what gets you up in the morning? What you dreamed of doing as a scared, stupid little girl?
Can you describe a dog to me?
In Ordinary, we had a friend. Nosebleed Neil. And when it all went crazy, you know what I mean. Nosebleed Neil turned into a dog. Or something like a dog.
What day is it tomorrow?
Fuck off! I don't know! There is no calendar! How can I fucking know?
Dylan, calm down.
Fuck you! Fuck you and fuck Casper! Hey! Are you watching this, you old fuck? Did you send your bitch because you're too scared of me? Where is Casper?
Security, get a team in here. I need...
They really weren't handling Dylan well at all. And it's really too bad that Darling stopped visiting him after what happened to Agent Roberts. No idea, don't remember where it came from. Well, we can probably find out. I want to say it was... Let me see. Research... Ordinary. So if we go down to... Where's the Willow AWE? There it is. Animal carcass, possibly canine, in the Willow AWE. Interesting that does say possibly canine. And I wonder if that connects Willow to Ordinary. We'll have to find out as we go through and learn about these AWEs. But they were definitely mishandling Dylan, which is very sad. But that is all the time I have for tonight. We are just outside the Ordinary AWE. And so next time we'll be able to go inside and see what it actually is. And hopefully find the slide projector and whatever else Dylan is wanting us to find. It's definitely a very large lore drop that we're experiencing. Lots of collectible files, lots of audio files. There's probably going to be a few more videos from Darling. It wouldn't surprise me if there's another Threshold Kids in here somewhere too. So we'll have to keep an eye out. But the whole thing's just making me feel bad for Dylan, that's for sure. So we'll have to check out Ordinary AWE next time. Thanks for hanging out.